Hey Paisano, it's the Super One Piece Super Show! Welcome back! If you saw our last video for One Piece Chapter 1080, then you probably have a good idea of what's going on in this chapter, but today, we have the full spoilers for One Piece Chapter 1080 to share with you guys, as those apparently were the brief spoilers, and...
They weren't very accurate.
they were accurate,
they just weren't
totally
detailed.
Yeah, there was a little bit of a misunderstanding with the most important spoiler out of the whole set of the spoilers, and we're going to do a correction with these spoilers today. There's a lot more detail here. So with that being said, my name is Richard, this is my wife Claire.
Hello.
And we're One Piece of a Dream. Let's go ahead and hop right into these spoilers. The chapter is titled The Legendary Hero, so that part was correct, and the chapter starts in Hachinosu, the pirate island, as that was correct also. We see how the pirates are talking about somebody escaping from the prison. They're having a breakout. And then we see that Kobe is escaping with other prisoners. So Kobe is on the run. He is going to be a free man. He is a free elf. He got his sock and he's on his way. Now, she doesn't know the Harry Potter reference. In a little flashback, we could see how Perona found Kobe in a cell. And Perona told Kobe that she would release him only if Kobe helped her to release Gecko Moria.
Which is surprising. I thought Gecko Moria was dead,
yeah,
to be honest.
I thought so too.
It's a surprise to know he's still alive.
Yeah, I could have swore Blackbeard would have just killed him. I don't know why he bothered keeping Gecko Moria alive, but...
I'm also glad Perona's okay.
Yeah, but whatever. Anyway, Gecko Moria is in prison in a deeper cell, and we cannot see Moria in this chapter. Kobe accepted Perona's proposal, and now he's helping to release the other prisoners too. So Kobe, he is not only freed himself, well, I guess Perona freed him, but still, Kobe's not only a free man, but the other prisoners, they're about to be free as well. It seems
I wonder who the other prisoners are.
I'm not sure, but it kind of sounds like Blackbeard has his own little impel down sort of thing going on in this island. Or, I mean, Big Mom had her own sort of prison with the cream guy. I can't remember what his name is, but she had her own little sort of prison thing going on inside of his book. Well, not his book. Who is the guy who had the book? I'm sorry, I can't remember all of the Big Mom pirates.
You mean that guy that looks like a scarecrow, don't you?
Yeah, him.
I don't know his name.
I don't remember either. You could tell us down in the comments. I completely can't remember every single Big Mom pirate. There's just kind of too many of them. We'll just say Charlotte. How about that? They're Charlotte because they're both Big Mom's kids. So there you go. And
Charlotte Book and Charlotte Cream.
Yeah, there we go. We'll go with that. You know, it's probably not even incorrect. But moving on though. Other random pirates in Hachinosu try to capture Kobe. They want to give him to Cross Guild because Kobe's bounty is 5 stars. We talked about this in the last video. 1 star is equal to 1 treasure chest that contains treasures for the amount of 100 million berries, or belly. So Kobe's bounty is around 500 million berries. So Kobe, he's a big boy. And normally the bounty for a Marine captain in Cross Guild is only 1 star. But Kobe has the hero title, like Garp does, for the Marines. So his bounty is much higher than a normal Marine captain's bounty would be. So Kobe is now running from other pirates, and he's acting as a decoy for the other prisoners so they can escape. So Kobe, being the hero he is, yeah, trying to help the other prisoners get out of Blackbeard's little prison thing he's got going on there. Some members of the Blackbeard pirates are watching, all from the Skull Fortress in the middle of the island. Avala Pizarro has the Shima Shima no Mi, and Shima means island in Japanese, and as you could probably guess and was explained in the last video, Shima's fruit actually gives him the ability to control the island. Pizarro merges...
Whatever that means.
Yeah, well, it's about to explain it. Pizarro merges himself with the wooden floor and stone wall, making the Skull Fortress move, and he makes the skull talk. The skull has Pizarro's face on it.
Ew.
It seems that he doesn't want to intervene. I can't remember
Why are they all just sitting around?
I don't know. What was that guy's name back in Dressrosa who could use the stone? I think he was Pika. Was that his name? Yeah, Pika. The guy...
one with the really high pitch.
Yeah, the one that Zoro beat. Yeah, it sounds similar to that. Vasco Shot has the Gabu Gabu no Mi, which means the liquor, or the liquor fruit. So,
another weird one.
Yes, as we discussed in the last video as well, his fruit, I don't know what it does, but...
Apparently it makes bubbles.
Yeah, we get a bigger explanation for that here, but in the last video, we didn't actually have an explanation with the brief spoilers, so I kind of just assumed maybe it just makes your opponent really drunk, or lets
I didn't know
use the
you
drunken
could use
fist. I don't know.
liquor to blow bubbles.
Well, apparently you can, because in the next portion of the spoilers here, it says that Vasco creates a liquor bubble, and he flies on it. He says that he wants to burn the town down altogether. So Vasco Shot is pretty much a little bit of an arsonist here, and I guess
Pyromaniac.
yeah, I mean, I guess if you got the liquor fruit, I guess that is something you could do. If you spray everything with alcohol, I guess you could just light
There
it
you
on
go.
fire. There you go. I guess there's a way to use it. Be creative. San Juan Wolf has the Deka Deka no Mi, and Deka means to enlarge. So he has the fruit that sounds like it would make things bigger, I guess, and San Juan Wolf is just sleeping. So I don't know. I guess we'll see it in this chapter. It sounds like we would. Maybe Oda
we'll see him sleeping at least.
My guess is maybe Oda just popped it up on the screen and said what his fruit is, but maybe it's a possibility that we'll actually see it. Well, let's go on. Maybe it'll explain. I kind of forget. Only the three of them in Shiryu of the Rain are on Hachinosu Island. Shiryu is standing in the Skull Fortress with Pizarro. So I guess he's standing in there watching as this goes down. They don't sound like they're doing a very good job of preventing a prison break. It's kind of funny
It kind of
because
just seems like they're enjoying the show.
anyway, now moving on, a flashback about Teach and Kobe starts, and Teach actually wants to make Hachinosu a kingdom approved by the world government. We saw that in the brief spoilers, and he wants to be the king. So Blackbeard wants to be king of his own pirate nation, which is interesting because that's probably just another stepping stone that he wants so he can go from emperor to an actual king and actually essentially not only get the world government's protection, but eventually overthrow them as he bands maybe other nations together and creates a bigger rebellion like Dragon is doing. Who knows? But essentially that's why he kidnapped Kobe, and that was simply just to extort the world government. Kobe says to Teach that they cannot use him for negotiation since he is a sword member. We finally get an explanation in the next couple lines here.
Unlucky.
Yeah, about what sword, like what it actually is. We are overdue for this. People have been theorizing, and this explanation is about to blow the Akainu is part of sword theory completely away. It's
It
not
makes you
true.
wonder why people even thought that.
Well,
I guess 'cause
know
they
why.
Didn't know.
No, I know why they thought
And
that.
his tattoo.
Yeah, he had a color spread where he had a sword tattoo. Well, coincidentally, there's no way he's in sword, and you're about to learn
Not
why.
possible.
Kuzan explains that Sword's members are Marines who officially resigned and returned their codes. They can attack the Yonko without approval of the world government, and they are not bound to any chain of command, so they don't have to obey the Celestial Dragons. But Marines take no responsibility for them, and they can cut them off at any time. So it's basically like almost like becoming a weird private contractor? I don't even know if that's the right word.
So are they still technically Marines, or...?
Kind of, but not really. It seems like there's no chance at promotion, so if Kobe is in Sword, that means that Kobe likely never will be promoted. I guess once you join Sword, you are stuck at your rank, so Kobe could literally never see his dream come true of being an admiral or fleet admiral or any of that. It seems like that is out of the question.
I mean, if he joins Sword, I'm sure he doesn't mind.
Yeah, but it's kind of seeming like that's going to be, it's weird, because that was Kobe's dream, was to be like an admiral, so I'm kind of surprised by that. But despite everything, Teach still thinks that he can use Kobe's hero title to pressure the world government. And after this, back to the present, Sword arrives and attacks Hachinosu Island while some of their members are introduced. And I just wanted to talk a little bit more about the Sword thing here, because this is really interesting that this is what this is, because people thought that they were rebelling against the world government. It sounds like they wanted to operate as Marines without actually having to be bound by the Celestial Dragons and the Marines and what they have planned, I guess. Because as you guys can see, Akainu is sitting at his desk all day doing nothing. And a lot of the times, the Marines are just told to stand down. Like Borsalino, when he wanted to go the first time around to go do something on Wano, he was told, no, you stay here. You don't go there. You leave them alone. He was pretty confident he could handle Kaido and Big Mom. I doubt it, but he was confident about it. So, I mean, I'm not going to say I doubt it.
That's a question I don't think we're going to get an answer for.
I'm not going to say that it's impossible, because, I think that we'll at least get a decent comparison. I'm sure Kizaru is either going to fight Zoro and Sanji, or he's going to fight Luffy. I have a feeling the Gorosei is almost definitely going to be the one that fights Luffy. I do not doubt that. So, it just doesn't make sense for him to fight, Zoro and Sanji. Anyone else. Who else is he going to fight? Luffy and Vegapunk are the only two there, and I'm sure Vegapunk isn't going to, fist fight a Gorosei. It's just not going to happen. So, I mean, you can think what you want on that, but Luffy is clearly about to have a fight with a Gorosei. But as far as the Admirals go, do I think that Kizaru could have taken on both Big Mom and Kaido? No! Fuck no! I don't think he could have done that, no. Maybe one Yonko, but two? No. I don't think he can do two at once. I mean, we saw how Ryokugu fared against Shanks. Granted, Shanks is stronger than Big Mom and Kaido. I don't think any of the Admirals are taking Shanks. Maybe Akainu could have a chance. but I don't think the, like, regular admirals, I'm not talking fleet, I'm talking just regular admirals, I cannot foresee them handling, you know, someone like Shanks. I don't even understand, like, why Aokiji's working under Blackbeard unless it's spying, because the power gauge there doesn't make sense. You would think that, you know, if the admirals were at least as strong or stronger than Yonko, that Aokiji wouldn't be out working under a Yonko right now, who's not even... Now, I'm not going to go out and go on a limb here and say that he's not as strong as Shanks, because we don't know Blackbeard's true extent, and we do have proof that he did scar Shanks, but Shanks is pretty OP. So, I'm going to go on a limb here and just say Blackbeard might not be quite on that level, because he did back down from Shanks at one point, but for real, I'm just going to go with this, alright? I'm going to say that Blackbeard probably is not quite on Shanks' level. I think Shanks' mastery of Haki puts himself, you know, it puts him above Blackbeard and his Devil Fruit powers. But, I mean, it's also going to change later because Blackbeard has to surpass Shanks as a threat to Luffy. There is no doubt about that. Whatever he gets next is likely going to make him stronger than Shanks. And I have a theory video coming out that's going to explain why Blackbeard has an interest right now in Vegapunk and Egghead Island. And no, it is not to recruit York. You're going to have to watch the video, though, to find out what it actually is. Because this is some big brain hour stuff right there. And that was, yes, that was a hint as to what he wants. Now, let's get into the next part of the chapter. Commander Hibari, the girl that appeared with Helmeppo asking for help to rescue Kobe in chapter 1061, is a sniper that uses Vegapunk's GP, or gunpowder flower bullets, that turn enemies' gunpowder into flowers. So, if you guys remember right, we had a cover story of Vegapunk in his gunpowder flower, the tanks that were firing the flowers. If you guys remember right, Vegapunk won an Ibel prize for that. So we are seeing that very Ibel prize technology in action on the battlefield. I thought this was cool. Yeah, I thought this was a joke. I didn't think it actually did anything, but apparently it literally can stop guns from functioning. How that helps in a world full of Devil Fruit users, well, I mean, I guess she could just load up a regular bullet, whatever, but if she doesn't have any and this is all she's using, I don't really see how she's all that useful against the crew of the Blackbeard pirates, but I guess we'll see.
That is a good point.
It would have to be, because what the hell, the Blackbeard pirates don't really use guns. I mean, Blackbeard does have 3 guns, but he doesn't actually use them. Nobody on the Blackbeard crew, other than Van Augur, actually uses their gun, and I can't imagine that that's going to help that much. Well, actually, I mean, it could help against Van Augur, but he has the teleportation fruit. So, man, he could just skirt it. Next up, we have Rear Admiral Kuchaku. She is Vice Admiral Suru's granddaughter. And if you remember, you know, Suru, or Vice Admiral Suru, has the clean fruit. She believes in clean justice. She's ancient looking. She's old.
And turns people into laundry.
Yeah, she turns people into laundry. And she also is a very sympathetic woman, according to Garp, but only when the time doesn't call for it. Her granddaughter, Rear Admiral Kuchaku, possesses the Muchi Muchi no Mi. And Muchi means whip, so she has the whip fruit, which I said last chapter is pretty hot, and I still stand by that statement. She can command anything that she whips, including buildings, so she's a dominatrix.
Nice video.
Yeah, she's the girl that appeared next to Prince Gruss in chapter 1061. Rear Admiral Prince Gruss, he's the Gunyo no Mi user, and Gunyo means clay. Gruss can control clay, and he can create golems. He can even change other sword members' bodies to clay. The other sword members that were next to Prince Gruss in chapter 1061 appear in this chapter too, and it seems that Gruss creates a golem of them, and he can literally use these golems to fight. And Kuchaku traps all of the pirates in the middle of the island thanks to the buildings which she is controlling thanks to the whip fruit. So she can not only control people, but she can also control inanimate objects. God, that's spicy. Anyway, Garp's ship appears flying in the sky like the Thousand Sunny when he uses Coup de Burst, or when the ship uses Coup de Burst. I was thinking of Frankie when I said that, so I said he specifically, because Frankie always does the Coup de Burst, so I'm like, huh, yeah, that's a he. So Garp's ship can freaking fly! He has the Coup de Burst type tech. That's amazing. What do you expect from Luffy's grandfather? Helmeppo and Toshigi are with Garp in the ship. Garp drops into the middle of the island, and this is where things get way lit, and this is where the correction to the spoilers for last chapter occur. Oh my god, this is, oh man, and you might have even got an idea from the thumbnail, depending on what we did with it, but, oh man. Garp drops into the middle of the island, and he uses a massive punch attack called Galaxy Impact. Now, the correction is that in the brief spoilers, they said that he only destroyed some buildings. And in the basically misinterpreted spoilers that were going around saying that he destroyed the entire island. Turns out it's more in the middle. And the kanji for this also means fist bone impact if you're interested. But Garp's punch destroys the entire town, man. The entire town is gone. He did what Blackbeard did in several seconds with the dark fruit or yami yami no mi, sucking that thing in and then spitting it back out. Garp did it with his fist in one punch, man. He ain't called the fist for nothing. Man, that's my guy. Garp, do you know who you kidnapped? Kobe is the future of the Marines and my beloved apprentice.
Aww.
End of chapter. Break next week. Woo! This is heavy. And I don't mean heavy just like Garp's fist. I mean this is just... Well, actually, yeah, that's what I mean exactly. Garp's got a heavy-ass fist, man. Anyway. Let me know what you guys think of this in the comments. Garp, he ain't even putting it out yet. I guarantee you he is not...
Can't wait to actually see this. Like, visually see it.
Because I promise you... This is just the beginning. Garp is not even trying yet. This man destroyed mountains for fun when he was younger, and he's still got it in him. He just obliterated an entire town with one punch. This man straight up fist of faded the ground. He went Obelisk the Tormentor and just destroyed it. He just, man, I cannot believe what I am reading. Oh my god, I cannot wait for this chapter. I don't care what you say if you don't think this chapter is hype. This chapter is hype. That's all I got for you guys. And maybe consider watching this other video, whatever pops up on screen that YouTube thinks you'll like. Later, peace.
Bye.